peace accord signed by the opposition United. You're watching Camnet TV, not just another channel. Welcome to our news. The headlines. UPND Alliance resume campaigns after 3 days of suspension in honor of Super Ken. 7th July set as the date KK will be put to rest. A 23-year-old woman in northwestern province dies alongside her 10-month-old baby after the boat they were in capsized. And in international news, Ethiopia prepares for landmark elections. And in sports news, British and Irish Lions reinforcements arrive ahead of game against Japan. For the details, join me shortly after this break.
Zambia has embarked on an economic journey for individual financial emancipation, empowering its citizens through land acquisition and developing the nation through agriculture. This time, Zambians are coming together, taking it upon themselves with the help of government to develop this great nation by taking individual responsibility and ownership of this great nation. The economic revolution has started. There are thousands of Zambians with a can-do mindset who are resolute, unstoppable, full of confidence and conviction that Zambia's set time of favor for development is now. Don't be left out. This could be the time you have been waiting for. Camnet Television, in conjunction with the United Agrivision Consultancy Limited, will be hosting a national conference on becoming a millionaire through agriculture. Date 1st October and 2nd October 2021. Charges 750 kwacha per person per day, that includes lunch. A limited number of participants through Zoom have also been reserved. You can also be part of the conference from the comfort of your home by registering online via Zoom, joining the people who were born for greatness. Charges for participation via Zoom are only 300 kwacha per person. Time 0730 hours to 17 hours. Registration and confirmation of attendance will take place on the 29th of September 2021. Time 14 hours to 17 hours. Venue the Healing Word Ministries International, the home of Camnet Television in Apex Hill, Kabulonga Road, Lusaka.
With the details, my name is Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga. Residents of Lundazi district in Eastern Province are happy with the manner in which work at the Lundazi bridge is moving. The residents have told Camnet TV that ever since the bridge was washed away last year in February, they experienced difficulties in conducting their business, but with the construction of the bridge, new hope has been revived. The residents, however, are appealing to the government not to abandon the works once elections are done. They reiterate that government must not use the construction project as a way just to get votes from them. More in this report.
Despite government commencing works at the Lundazi Bridge in Eastern Province recently, some residents still feel that this project may be halfway abandoned without being completed after the elections. The bridge, which links the district to other districts, was washed away in February 2020 following continued flash floods experienced in the eastern parts of Zambia. Government, through the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, which visited the place, assured the residents and Zambians as a whole that government would work on the bridge with the utmost urgency. But the bridge stayed for a year unattended. Government only commenced works on the said bridge this month, the 2nd of June 2021. The residents had this to say.
But we don't know how far it will go. After time ya branch utisipizike because so we are happy to know about it. Nanje hapa bridge zake but looking at time again kwa neta choka time ya pitapo maningi so ngangale bwino ngati mwena aletera vintu vonse hizo then within the shortest time bapanga msanga takala hapa
mikira kuti vanayamba so pakuyamba kwa tifuna kuti vapitirize isire kusangala kuti vayambe pamene apa vaisiye isapitirize kusira bridge koma vapitirize bridge kuti isire pena kumankhala kuyamba chifukwa cha ma-election koma pasogolo pake ma-election kujumba zangala kuti bridge vairekeza ichiseka kuti current season yamepo
nokondera kwambiri kulingana pamene tiona chituko chidi apa pa bridge apa na boma ya PF unesenzera apa so otherwise tabutika nthawi itali maningi nkhani ya msewu ma business yambiri yarayimira chifukwa kuti bridge panalibe but apa mwene alandira kukoza apa nisokondera maningi wanokundazi.
Now, the residents who are pleased with the construction progress have one request to the government.
People are able to pass the intervention that has been done, and there's a machine that is pumping water there. This project, I think it has been long overdue. People have been waiting for this project to commence, and we have seen the government done a lot of mobilization. We have seen the contractor on site. All the equipment that are supposed to be used and the parts that are supposed to be used to this bridge are already on site. For this, we commend the government and we really appreciate for what they have done. All we just want to appeal the government, let it not be politicized. Let it not be done because of campaigns. All we want is to be connected to Chipata because most of the orders are done in Chipata by most of our businessmen and women. There is also people in Chipata who come to order their merchandise here. So this bridge brought a lot of problems.
World Youth Leadership Foundation has called for intensified parental guidance in the wake of the COVID-19 restrictions in order to fight teenage pregnancy that schools have partially closed. Foundation Director is of the view that child starts early, especially in rural areas and urban shunt compounds with teenage pregnancy as a result of lack of proper parental guidance. Mr. Nyambe says churches play a vital role when it comes to guiding and counseling children. He urged parents to closely monitor and interact with their daughters at all costs so that the young girls are adequately protected from any form of sexual abuse. Details in this report.
COVID-19 led to the closure of schools in most countries as a measure to slow down the spread of the virus. A side effect of this is that they deprive young people of the social protections that schools offer and expose them to risks of sexual violence and abuse at home, child marriages, and unwanted pregnancies. Lockdowns and curfews also make it harder for girls to access sexual health care, which confines them to homes with predatory neighbors and family members. With Zambia's government now closing schools as a means of preventing the further spread of the pandemic, the World Youth and Leadership Foundation has called for intensified parental guidance in order to fight teenage pregnancies.
World Youth and Leadership Foundation calls for intensified parental guidance in the wake of COVID-19 in order to fight against teenage pregnancy as schools partially closed. It is evident in Zambia that childbearing starts early and teenage pregnancy is common, particularly in rural areas, and in urban shunt compounds. We also believe that most of the victims of teenage pregnancy fall pregnant because of lack of proper parental guidance.
Mr. Nyambe feels homes and churches play a vital role when it comes to guiding and counseling children.
With the Leadership Foundation, we believe that homes and churches play a vital role when it comes to guiding and counseling children. We also believe that the first school of guidance and counseling, which are supposed to guide, mentor, and turn children into role models in the community in the fight against teenage pregnancy, are these particular institutions. For this reason, we urge parents to closely monitor and interact with their daughters at all costs so that the young girls are adequately protected from any form of sexual abuse.
Left with a lot of idle time, some teenagers engage in risk behaviors such as unprotected sex, while others fall victims to rape that result in increased cases of teenage pregnancies. Mr. Nyambe has since appealed to the law enforcement agencies to tighten laws surrounding teenage pregnancies to ensure that both boys and girls face equal treatment.
We also appeal to law enforcement agencies to tighten laws surrounding teenage pregnancy to ensure that both perpetrators, boys, men or girls, face equal treatment, because in most cases, communities put a blame and a burden on girl child who does not impregnate herself. Therefore, as we continue with the fight against teenage pregnancy and child marriages, we further urge everyone to continue praying for our Zambia.
Unprotected sex, if not properly addressed, could erode the gains made in the fight against HIV/AIDS and have consequences for young people, particularly adolescents, girls, and young women. Therefore, government needs to consider sexual and reproductive health services in their COVID-19 response plan to ensure that young people have access to these services as they consider reopening of schools. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Government has set the 7th of July 2021 as the day the remains of the late Zambian First Republican President Dr. Kenneth Kaunda will be put to rest. Addressing the media Monday morning, Vice President Inonge Wina, however, says the remains of late Dr. Kaunda will be taken to all 10 provinces of the country to allow the nation pay their last respects to the founding father. Mrs. Wina says no physical body viewing will be allowed in the 10 provinces, but through television and route lining, where members of the public will only view the casket of the late First Republican President. The Vice President adds that a short church service will be conducted in all the 10 provinces by the military in conjunction with the United Church of Zambia, with all proceedings being streamed live on television, radio, and some social media platforms. Details in this report.
The life of the late Zambia's first Republican President, Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda, is being celebrated across the globe, with many African countries declaring state of emergencies in their countries to show respect to Zambia's founding father. The role Dr. Kaunda played in liberating Zambia and other African countries from the hands of the colonialists will forever go in the history as the greatest gesture to Zambia and Africa as a whole. And government, through the Vice President Inonge Wina, has announced that the late president will be put to rest at the presidential burial site.
His Excellency Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda shall be put to rest at the presidential burial site on Wednesday, 7th July 2021, at a very private ceremony for family and selected invited mourners only. This will be broadcast live on television, radio, and social media to allow Zambians and the international community to follow the proceedings.
And in honoring the fallen soldier, the body of the late First Republican President will be taken to all the 10 provinces of Zambia, starting from 23rd June to 5th July 2021 to allow its citizens pay their last respect. But in view of the COVID-19, no physical body viewing will be allowed, but that members of the public will be allowed to line up on roads and view the casket of Dr. Kaunda as it will be moving around.
To accord our founding father respect and dignity while showing love and support to the family and in compliance with our national COVID-19 protocols, I would like to state that there shall be no physical body viewing. However, the entire procession, including the church service, will be carried live on television. This arrangement will enable the millions of viewers at home to follow the proceedings and have a closer view of the remains of the late president. The provincial programs shall include route lining, where residents in the provinces shall line designated routes to view the cortege and pay their last respects.
Mrs. Winner adds that Friday, 2nd July 2021, a state funeral will proceed in Lusaka at Hero Stadium, where international dignitaries and heads of state accompanied by one person will be allowed to view the remains of the late first Republican president.
It is in this regard that the government of the Republic of Zambia has designated Friday, 2nd July 2021 as the date for the state to accord His Excellency Dr. Kaunda a ceremonial state funeral to allow for the participation of international dignitaries. This state funeral will be held at Heroes Stadium here in Lusaka. Once again, the government will ensure the strictest adherence to COVID-19 guidelines by firmly restricting participation to the state funeral to heads of state to be accompanied by one official.
And in respecting the legacy of Dr. Kaunda, the Vice President has announced that no party regalia or party symbol of any kind, including party-branded face masks, will be allowed at any activity during this period of mourning. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The United Party for National Development Alliance has lifted the suspension on political rallies as instructed by Alliance President Hakainde Hichilema. Addressing the media Monday in Chilanga, UPND Secretary General Batuke Emenda says the revived campaign period will be done with the set health guidelines and other supporting legislation. He explains that the members of the alliance will also use this opportunity to share the legacy of Dr. Kenneth Kaunda and how it has impacted the now generation. Mr. Emenda, however, says the campaign team will break during the burial of the late Dr. Kaunda. He has since called for peace and unity during this period. Meanwhile, Movement for Democratic Change Secretary General Lucky Mulusa says there is no need for government to take the body of the late founding father to all the 10 provinces if they will be only a preserve of a few political party members.
That we resume the mobilization with the strictest adherence to the following rules. While undertaking campaigns, infuse the message of love, peace and unity as preached by Dr. Kaunda. The message continues to the members of our parties in the alliance to ensure that they highlight the fact that Dr. Kaunda governed Zambia on values of unity, love, zero tolerance to corruption, non-tribalism, and the rule of law, amongst many other tenets of good governance. Campaigns shall not be conducted on the day of burial of our beloved KK. You are to strictly observe the Ministry of Health protocols.
We do not have a problem with taking the body around the country if that is at the request of the citizens. But we have a problem if it is for political reasons. And you know that PF has never been genuine in whatever they do. If they build you a road, they build you a bridge, just know that it's at 4 times the cost that it should have costed. So we have not had any requests from any part of Zambia, any province, where people have requested that Dr. Kaunda's body be taken to those particular areas. If it's the initiative of the government and the ruling party, and it's genuinely coming from the bottom of their hearts, that they afford the general citizenship the opportunity to say goodbye to our founding father, then that's fine.
GEAR's Initiative Executive Director McDonald Chipenzi says the decision to take Dr. Kenneth Kaunda's body across the 10 provinces is a waste of resources which can be channeled to other needs. He explains that the fact that there is no body viewing makes the whole process illogical. Mr. Chipenzi says government should not stress so much, stating that the country's health situation is not allowing such activities. Mr. Chipenzi has to this effect called on government to drop this idea, which he says can also be a conduit to misuse resources.
We see no logic why government should transport the body of our founding president, Dr. Kenneth David Pichizia Kaunda, around the provincial centers, if at all there will be no body viewing. Because why we send these things around is for people to see or pay the last respect of their founding president, or indeed their late departed ones. But in this case, the government has announced that there will be nothing like that, meaning that there's no need. Really, there's no logical argument one can put across to go around the provinces and start putting the body somewhere, and then you move on to the next one. I think this is a sheer waste of resource. It would be good that money is used to feed the mourners, if at all there will be mourners. We understand the times in which we are living, and government should not stress so much to the extent that they want to show that they really wanted to do ABCD for the former president. If things cannot allow, please, let's not move around, because who knows that in that coffin that will be moving around will be a body of a human being. Yeah? So let's not waste the resources for if things cannot allow. Of course, everyone would want would have loved.
The body of a Zambian pursuing aviation studies in India who died recently after being notified of his father's death in Zambia, Cheo Keith Musukwa, has been repatriated to Zambia. Zambia's High Commissioner to India, Judith Kapejimpanga, said the body of the former student at Lovely Professional University in Punjab State, India, arrived in Zambia today, Monday, June 21st, 2021, aboard an Emirates plane. She thanked the family for raising $60,000. Former Mines Minister Richard Musukwa, who is not related to the deceased, contributed $22,000, and staff at Zambia High Commission in India added $20,000 for embalming and transportation of the remains. Mrs. Kabejimpanga said Mr. Musukwa died at Johau Hospital on the 8th of June 2021 around 16 hours Indian time when he fell off from his apartment floor. The High Commissioner said the deceased was rushed to the hospital where he was put on a ventilator but unfortunately died a few hours later.
The body of the former student at Lovely Professional University, LPU, in Punjab state of India, arrived in Zambia today, Monday, June 21st, 2021, aboard an Emirates plane. I wish to take this opportunity to thank the family for raising 32,000 kwacha and further thank the former Mines Minister, Honorable Richard Musukwa, who is not related to the deceased, who contributed 22,000 kwacha, and staff at Zambia High Commission in India added another 20,000 for embalming and transportation of the remains, totaling 74,000 kwacha. I humbly thank the staff for being magnanimous.
We take our first set of commercials to stay with us as we still have more interesting stories lined up for you.
President Edgar Chagwa Lungu and the Patriotic Front have transformed the transportation sector by facilitating the construction of bus stations around the country. Vote for Edgar Chagwa Lungu and the PF that have brought you change.
At Master Signs, our services range from outdoor, indoor signage such as billboards, banners, 3D light boxes, pylons and neon signs. We are located at plot number 397A, Makeni Road, Lusaka, at Oryx Filling Station. For more details, call us on +260 967 100 090 or +260 966 999 981, or better still, email us at infomastersign@gmail.com. Master Sign, we will make it shine.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Every day for me means hard work. Going to sell my goods at the local market. To get more customers, I have my secret. Oracle Pure Glycerin. It's soft, smooth, and keeps my skin perfect. And my customers know it. Thank you, Oracle, for my perfect skin.
Zambia has embarked on an economic journey for individual financial emancipation, empowering its citizens through land acquisition and developing the nation through agriculture. This time, Zambians are coming together, taking it upon themselves with the help of government to develop this great nation by taking individual responsibility and ownership of this great nation. The economic revolution has started. There are thousands of Zambians with a can-do mindset who are resolute, unstoppable, full of confidence and conviction that Zambia's set time of favor for development is now. Don't be left out. This could be the time you have been waiting for. Camnet Television, in conjunction with the United Agrivision Consultancy Limited, will be hosting a national conference on becoming a millionaire through agriculture. Date 1st October and 2nd October 2021. Charges 750 kwacha per person per day, that includes lunch. A limited number of participants through Zoom have also been reserved. You can also be part of the conference from the comfort of your home by registering online via Zoom, joining the people who were born for greatness. Charges for participation via Zoom are only 300 kwacha per person. Time 0730 hours to 17 hours. Registration and confirmation of attendance will take place on the 29th of September 2021. Time 14 hours to 17 hours. Venue the Healing Word Ministries International, the home of Camnet Television in Abex Hill, Kabulonga Road, Lusaka.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. The Law Association of Zambia, LAZ, says the death of Chief Justice Mrs. Irene Mambilima has left a huge gap in the judiciary system of Zambia and the African continent. LAZ President Abel Shonga has described the late Lady Justice as a remarkable example of a well-balanced judge whose pursuit for justice was relentless. He says her influence spanned well beyond the borders and was felt internationally. Mr. Shonga reiterates that the judiciary has lost a steadfast leader and judge. He says the association will issue a formal statement in due course. The Movement for Promoting National Values and Principles, CEO Joseph Kunda, has described Chief Justice Irene Mambilima as a gallant woman who contributed massively to the judiciary system. Speaking to Camnet TV, Mr. Kunda says the country has suffered a huge loss as her death comes at a time when the country is still mourning its first Republican president. He says Justice Mambilima was an iron lady who stood for justice with an admirable record of integrity. Chief Justice Irene Mambilima died on the 20th of June 2021 in Egypt, Cairo, where she went for national duties.
The total loss that we've suffered as a country, it's a biggest tragedy, especially that the demise of the Chief Justice has come just at a time when we are mourning the first Republican president, His Excellency Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. But I would describe Madam Mambilima as a gallant woman, an iron lady who stood for justice with a very powerful record of integrity. And I can also mention that although she was a woman, she wasn't feminine as per se. She